Girl, I should probably take my own advice in this video on this office of mine. Crazy. My closet is my office. My closet side, okay, looks good. The office side, girl, look at this. What is this? Two computers? I need to figure out what I need to do in order to get myself motivated to stop procrastinating on cleaning this office. Maybe some of my own tips will help me, girl. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, hey, my name's Dayna and welcome to my channel. I'm a wife, mother, and owner, founder of GPS Movement, and on this channel I talk about all things motherhood, business, Christianity, and womanhood. So welcome to my channel and I hope that you enjoy this. So what do I want to talk about today? I wanted to talk about procrastination, right? So right now we're in the middle of like craziness. Um, and if you're watching this video in live time, you know what that craziness is. But if you are finding me after this, maybe years after this, what's going on right now is we've all been issued this stay-at-home order, and so all across the country, people who are non-essential are staying at home in order to prevent the spread of a very serious virus that's going on. And so if you are if you've looked on social media or you looked it up, you'll see that there's a lot of people worried about what's going on, a lot of people that are worried about their health, a lot of people that are worried about how they're going to pay their bills. Our government is trying very hard to keep everybody safe and keep everybody in their homes. And we just need to do a good job of taking care of each other during this time. But with that, I have seen like a ton of things on social media where it was like, oh, if you said you didn't have time to learn a skill or start a business or whatever, um, and you don't come out of this time with that done, then it wasn't a lack of time, it was a lack of motivation. And it's funny and it seems kind of snarky, right? Like when you think about it, to say that just because somebody has an idea and has a dream, um, that because we're forced to be at home right now, that they should come out of this time with that dream fulfilled. Now, I will say for sure, if you have a mentor, if you've been studying it, if you've been working on it for a long time, you should come out of this time with something done to progress you towards that dream or that goal. But there's a lot of people out there that have dreams and goals that are not going to come out of this 4 to 6 week time period with those things manifested. And so I really want to talk to you and make sure that you know that it's okay, and that there's lots of other people out there that are going to be considered procrastinators because they didn't come out of this time with something bigger and something better. So some things I wanted to talk about. So hello, I'm a procrastinator too. Yes, I'm a business owner and a mom and a wife and a lot of other things. But I think procrastination is just something that is natural to us as humans. A lot of us procrastinate when there is something that we don't want to do or when there's something new and so some that we're trying to do. And so I think the first thing for us to figure out when we're procrastinating is why we're procrastinating. So if we don't figure out why we're procrastinating, then we can't really get over it. So I just wanted to talk to you about like three things really that I do to help me get over procrastination. So the first reason, the biggest reason that I normally find that I will procrastinate is because I lack knowledge. So it's something very new to me that I'm interested in and I'm excited about it, and I just lack the knowledge to get it done. So one of those things is YouTube, right? So YouTube's something that I've procrastinated on for years and years. So for about 2 years now, I have had the idea to do a YouTube channel and combine motherhood and business and Christianity and all the things that I love on a YouTube channel and maybe help somebody. But I just didn't know where to start, right? Like, what camera do I need a certain camera? What camera do I need? How do I edit the videos? Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into YouTube and successful YouTube accounts that I just didn't know. And when I lack knowledge, that can cause me to procrastinate. I don't know what the first step is to take. And so because of that, I don't take any steps. So that would be the first thing I would say to look at if you feel like you are procrastinating. Take out a piece of paper, take out a notebook, write down that thing that you want to do, and then write down all the things you don't know about that thing. So sometimes just learning about that new goal or task that we want to accomplish is will break procrastination. Actually getting in motion and writing down what you don't know, because if you don't know it, you can't do it. And then from there, you can create an action plan to learn how to do each one of those things. So for me, this has been a long time coming. I did some video work for a previous employer. I've done some video work on a Periscope. I've done a lot of researching about how to come up with topics, how to edit videos, how far do I have to go, how long does it take before you get monetized. I've done a lot of research before I got to the point where I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and try this. So it's okay to do research. It's okay to learn. It's okay to find mentors and read and just study that new thing that you want to do. And don't feel like that's procrastination, because it's not. Right? So that's number one. Number two, the number two reason I find that I procrastinate is because I am overwhelmed. Right? So the first thing is that you don't have knowledge, and the second thing is that for me is that once I start to research things, if there is something I'm interested in that has a lot of moving parts to it, sometimes I can become overwhelmed from that, and basically become paralyzed because there's so many moving parts. And now that I moved from like not doing something because I don't know how to do it to not doing it because now I know that there's so much I don't know, right? And so I use myself as an example. So one of the things that caused me to procrastinate on YouTube is as I researched, I noticed that there were a lot of people that had like expensive camera equipment. There's some people out on YouTube that are doing like whole productions with camera crews and boom microphones and outsourced editors, and like it's really a whole production. Like they're putting on a TV series for people on YouTube every single week, or some of them 5 times a week, right? And that's like overwhelming. Like, I don't know. One, I don't have the money, even being a business owner and working full time on top of being a business owner. Um, I don't have the money to hire a camera crew to create professionally produced videos and have them edit them and make them look beautiful, right? I'm a mom. I'm sitting here with hair oil on my shirt right now from my daughter's hair, and that was overwhelming to me. And so I had to go back to the drawing board and find a way to encourage myself to get back on this path, because I know that doing YouTube videos is something that I truly want and truly need to do. And so I went back and I looked at some of my favorite YouTubers, like Sarah from our tribe of many. Hey Sarah, love her. And I was really like motivated by the fact that she has 10 kids now and that she's able to crank out videos. Her kids are in them. The videos are like great quality, and she talks about some of the struggles she had with producing videos. And so I went back to Sarah's channel and went back to the very beginning and watched what she did. I did the same thing with Gia from Marriage and Motherhood. Hey, Gia. My husband loves Gia and Sarah as well, and their husbands. Those are two of the channels that I can get him to watch with me. But I went back to Gia, all the way back to the beginning, and Gia's very first video was organizing her linen closet, I think. And she's like, I'm just doing this video to to help motivate me to get my house clean. Like, and it wasn't this huge production. And so those really encouraged me to say, okay, you can start with, you're starting with more than what Sarah started with. Sarah started with a GoPro and an old MacBook. I don't know what Gia started with, but like, you're starting with more than they started with. And so don't worry about the equipment. You don't have to have the fancy equipment to just get out there and get your message done. So find ways to encourage yourself if you're procrastinating because you're in that space of too much information and being overwhelmed. And then number 3 is procrastinating because you just don't like doing something, right? So procrastinating because you just don't like doing something. And I think somewhere on my channel, I have a video that is about like delegating or something like time management or something like that, where I talk about delegating. I'll link it down below so that you can look at that time management video. But sometimes we procrastinate because we just don't like doing things. And so if the reason you're procrastinating is because you just don't like or just don't want to do something, my time management video will really help you to figure out if it's something you even actually need to do. Because sometimes we beat ourselves up because we load our calendars up with so much stuff. And then we are afraid to say no, and we push things off that we really don't have to do and really don't need to do because we're afraid to say no. And so sometimes it is, we need to go through our calendar and figure out what's really critical and what we need to do and do those things and stop procrastinating about those things. And then other times we need to go through our calendar and our to-do list and just chuck some stuff out the window and not call ourselves procrastinators because we said no to some things. We don't need to beat ourselves up because we decided not to do things that were not mission critical to our business, our well-being, our family's well-being. And I would add the community's well-being, but there's honestly some things that are for the community's well-being that are not a part of the things that should be or are important to us. And so we need to be able to say no to those things and just chuck them out the window and not call them procrastination. So like behind me, you can see PTO on my boards. Those are how I keep myself organized. But at one point I was PTO vice president. I loved it. It was time for me to do stuff with my daughter, my youngest daughter. I got to spend a lot of time at the school with her, which I didn't get to do with my other 3 daughters. I got to know the teachers really well and made some awesome new friends being a part of the PTO. But as my business grew, I found myself starting to procrastinate on some of the things from the PTO. So namely like getting fundraisers done, like getting them scheduled on the books, getting the communication out. Like I found myself dragging my feet on those things. And at some point, the president and I had a conversation, and she asked if I needed help. And initially, as I'm like, no, I don't need help. I'll get it done. Don't worry about it. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, I'm dragging my feet on this because it's just not a passion of mine anymore. It did not. I was spending more time setting up fundraisers than spending time at the school with my daughter, which is what I initially planned to do. And so it just had to come off my to-do list. It needs to come off my board now, clearly, but it just had to come off my to-do list. Same thing on my vision board back here. You'll see Heartland. Heartland is a company that I partnered with, and I really procrastinated on getting new Heartland clients and really pushing that brand for new clients. And so it's something that I still partner with them. I still think they're a great company, but it was something that had to come off of my to-do list so that I could focus on some other things. So you may be procrastinating because you really need to look at the things that are on your to-do list and decide if they're things that you actually need to do, or that they're important to you. And so those are the three things that help me when I'm procrastinating. I hope those things help you. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll be putting videos out once a day, 3 times a week is what I'm trying to say. So I'll be putting out 3 videos a week. So look out for new videos. If you subscribe and hit the little bell, it'll let you know when I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.